What is up, you guys? We are back here with another video, and for today's video I'm going to be showing you how to modify your stock mini bike clutch. So if you're wearing out your clutch, just burning your pads or wearing out prematurely, I'm going to show you how to fix that problem for free. And this is also a trick that people have used to raise the engagement point on their clutch for free without having to buy some springs. I have made a similar video to this on my channel previously with the 420cc mini bike build, but basically I got some comments saying they didn't know exactly how I cut the spring or how I put it together. I didn't show that part. So today we're going to be doing an uncut version of that, and I'm going to show you from the beginning to the end how to do that modification for free. And we're just going to be practicing or like doing it basically on the old clutch that I had laying around. Alright guys, so to get started on this modification for your clutch, like I said, this is an old beat up clutch that I had. But to get started, we're going to need some of these here, and you're going to want to get some that have some tips that are interchangeable. Sadly, I lost my other tips, and this clutch requires some smaller little pins. So we're going to go ahead and get a flathead screwdriver and just pry it open. Luckily, this has a little slot right here where I can insert it, and just be careful, you know, don't stab yourself. Just like that, it's easy. And let's see, let's put it on here and just pry it. Basically just make sure not to hit your face, because as you guys see, it just flew off like crazy. So once you put that, or once you took that off, you can now remove the bell housing, and look at how worn out and ugly this one looks. We're just going to go ahead and put it off to the side. Make sure not to lose the ring. And it also comes with another little washer or whatever it is. Let's put that off to the side as well. Make sure to not lose that. And once we get to this part here, we are going to want to remove that other clip, which is basically like that one, just a bigger version. And yeah, these things don't work even if I reverse it. It doesn't work. I do need to get new ones, but we can still use it like this, basically with two hands. But we're basically want to put it in the little slots there, and there you go, pry it out. This actually came off a lot easier, but normally it takes a little while. But oh, it's kind of bent, probably that's why. But yeah, just get yourself some of these with the interchangeable tips, and you'll have an easy time taking these little rings out. So look at that, it's just a bigger version of that one that we took out previously. We're gonna put it off to the side, and that allows us to take this off here. So I'm actually gonna put that over, or the ring over that. So now that we have the pads and the spring, as you guys can see, it is all loose in here. Look at how it just came apart. So this, we could just clean it up. Right here is a time where we could clean it up, oil this right here. I like to put a little bit of oil with my pinky, just rub it all around. But since this is an old clutch, I'm not going to do that. I'm just letting you know what you can do. And here, this is the part where a lot of you guys were confused. So let me actually cut this end. So I don't know if you see, there's one that is kind of closed off. Let's see if I can zoom in or put it closer to the camera. But there's one that's really closed off, and there's another one that's a little bit more open. We're going to want to cut the one that's a little bit more open, and these little husky pliers do a really good job with that. So let's cut that. Let's see, there you go. And remember, wear some safety goggles, because you are cutting that thing and it's just throwing at a high speed. It's throwing that little cable. So now that we have this spring, you could go ahead and replace this and buy a stiffer spring, but we're on a budget, or you know, this is a free modification, so you can upgrade it for free. So what you're going to want to do, and let me actually zoom in, because I know a lot of people had questions about this. On this open end that you just cut off, you're going to want to go one at a time, only one row at a time, because if you do more than one, you might not be able to put it back together. So just pinch it with the pliers, and as you see, it opened up a little bit. So now that it opened up, you can kind of cut it. I'm gonna cut it again just to like get it out of the way a little bit, or just try to bend it. Basically, once you bend it a little bit, you can cut it. Oh, that's hard. There you go, just like that. So you just made a brand new hook. So you see, as you see, I just made a brand new hook. So just by cut it, or not cutting it, but opening it basically with the tips, like right here, opening it and folding it up, basically cutting it, I just made a brand new loop. And now the spring is shorter, which means it'll be a little tighter and your engagement point will be a little higher, or your clutch pads won't rub on the bell, which can save you a couple dollars over time, or clutch pads. So now that you have, I didn't even show you, so now that you have both ends here, that one is the open end, this is the closed end, you're going to want to hook it on there. And since it's basically like a hook, it's not going to come off, it's secured right there. And you're going to want to grab this pad. First, I like to start off with the end where the springs are, so you don't have to like get scratched by that. You can just put it in the pad and just put a second one, or you don't have to put the second one, but basically, let's move these out of the way. And we're going to start off by putting the pads just like this. So remember, the more you cut that spring, the tighter it's going to get, and it's going to be harder to put it on there. But it's going to be up to you. You know, you guys cut one spring, like one turn at a time, till you guys like it. And you guys can choose how stiff you want the spring. Let's see. So this spring was pretty loose at first. Oh, and as you can see, just with one cut, it already got really tight. So look, I cut it one time and the spring is not trying to let the pads sit straight on there. So that's kind of what you want. You want it to be a little tight, but still enough to where you can put it on, or even with like two people. So look at that. So it's kind of opening up. Like if I were to, let's see, grab this piece, it doesn't sit really well. So this is actually pretty good. You could have cut it even one more, but I think just for, you know, video purposes and make it a little easier, we're gonna leave it at that. So you squish it down, try to squish the spring down as much as you can, and there you go. This edge is trying to pop up a little bit, and what I like to do, look, you see it's popping up right here. What I like to do is basically push on it at the same time as you release. There you go. And now that you have it locked in place, let's see, let's make sure it's even all around. Yep, it's pretty even. All the pads, oh, it's kind of lifting here, but we can push down on it. Let's see, we push down, you hear that click? That click right there was the spring basically snapping into the little groove of the pads. And while you're holding it, maintain it there because it's gonna pop out. You're gonna want to grab this clip again, and with these right here, basically you're gonna want to put them in there. But something that I actually realized that is a little bit easier is just putting the spring, I mean the clip there, and with a screwdriver it actually goes in pretty easily. Let's see, and be careful, don't stab yourself. There you go. So one end is in. Let me show you. So one end of the clip is in. Now let's push in the other end. But trust me, with these it makes your life a lot easier. But since I already done this a couple times, I kind of figured it out with the screwdriver, and it works pretty good for me. So there you go. And once you push it down, as you can see, there is no more clicks, which means everything is in place, and the little C-clip or whatever it's called, the little ring, sits right in that groove. So that's what you want, and your clutch is not going to be coming apart. And as you can see, the pads are really tight. There is no play whatsoever at all. This thing is just solid. So now that we have it there, like I said, this is your time where you could oil it up, put a little bit of lube or grease, whatever you want to put. And then we're going to come back, grab this little washer or whatever this was, put it on top of there. Remember, clean all that up. And as well, we're going to, or if you want, you know, clean the bell, whatever you want to do. This one's old, we're not going to do anything to it, so just going to put it back on there just like that. And we're gonna grab the ring again. So this is the smaller one. Like I said, I don't have the tips for this. This thing is way too small. I lost the tips for mine, but I realized that I can do it with the screwdriver. I already done this so many times that I figured it out with the screwdriver. So what I like to do in this case is grab basically the edge of the screwdriver, put it at the very tip, like where the hole is, where you would put that little needle, and just hold the back end. So hold this back end in the groove and just push up on that little hole. There you go. And be careful with your fingers, because if this thing slips, you don't want to, you know, catch your finger. So look, so we have one end of the ring in, now just the second one, while still holding this down because you don't want it to pop out. Push the other side. There you go. And let's see, let's make sure it's in there. Yes, it is. If you want, you can kind of push up on it just to make sure it clicks in place, but it already clicked in. I like to always make sure though. So as you can see, the ring is now in the groove and your clutch is all assembled back together. Look at that. So there you have it, guys. That is the modification you can do to your stock mini bike clutch for free. And this basically prevents your clutch from wearing out prematurely, so it lasts a lot longer if you're just doing regular riding. And this is also another trick that you can do without having to replace the springs for like stiffer springs for more performance, because once you cut the spring, it tightens it up and it basically raises your engagement point for a little bit more performance. So this also helps for that too. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, go ahead and give me a like, and if you guys have any more questions, go ahead and leave it in the comment section. Peace.